All right. Let's see. Okay, prayer. For Ahia have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. So I just want to say this before we go into this. I don't want the Father don't want any of us to have fear, to not fear anything, because he doesn't give us a spirit of fear. If you're fearing anything, that comes from Satan. You have to get rid of that. The Father is coming to save us, coming to gather us. He's coming to get us. He talked to me and showed me how he's going to do that. The questions that we had about the ships of Tarshish, everything, every single solitary thing, and just amazing revelation that the Father has. So once we finish with this, we are all going to be with tambourines and singing and clapping and dancing for joy right now, because we know it's coming. That's just how much joy this lesson is going to bring. But going through everything, we're going to get there. But just know that don't worry about what you see going on in this world. Don't worry about any of this stuff. This stuff is not for us. The Father said to let his children know. I don't know who has been fearing or who's been afraid, but somebody has been afraid. Somebody has been not knowing. So only the Father knows. So just place that on my heart to say that it's no need for us to fear anything and anybody, because the Father is going to protect us. He's going to put us in safety. He's going to, and I'm going to show y'all how he said he's going to do that, how he's going to do that, all the questions and just praying about things. The Father knows what's on your heart. And sometimes what the Father will do, the very thing you thinking about, he sees your heart already. He'll just give you the answer. And sometimes you hadn't even prayed for it yet, but that answer is coming because he knows your heart. He knows everything about us. He knows what we're thinking. He knows what we're thinking next week. He knows what we're going to think 2 years from now. So he already knows these things. He knows that. So I'm just going to go ahead and y'all just, if anybody want to have something that they want to say, write your questions down. We're going to answer all the questions at the end. I'm just going to get through this, and then we can have the open discussions and everything towards the end. Okay. So the destruction of the temple predicted Matthew 24, 1-2. As Joshua came out of the temple, and as he was going away, his disciples came up to point out the temple buildings to him. And Joshua said unto them, do you not see all these things? And Joshua said unto them, do you not see all these things? Truly I say unto you, there shall not be one stone left upon another that shall not be thrown down. So right here, this is an overview, and leading up to this discourse, Joshua had been teaching and speaking in Israel's temple structure in Jerusalem. He had just completed pronouncing 7 woes of judgment against Israel's religious leaders. the scribes and the Pharisees. That is in Matthew 23. We're going to cover that, and we're going to go back, because I'm going to go back, but it was just something that the Father wanted y'all to see in 24. So I was led to do 24, but we will go back to where we left off at. He concluded with a declaration that he was officially abandoning Jerusalem and her children to the coming judgment. Jerusalem has refused to acknowledge Yahshua as the Mashiach and receive protection. Another point, Yahshua and his disciples had left the temple and were walking away from it, despite the serious tone of Yahshua's most recent pronouncements. The disciples turned and commented to Yahshua about the building beauty of the temple. So the temple had been extensively renovated in recent years, and historians report that it was known for its beauty and grandeur. So the disciples, they were amazed at the beauty of the temple. So this is all they were really much paying attention to, but Yahshua was going to he wasn't going to allow the disciples to miss the point in what he meant by this right here. Truly, I tell you, it would not, every stone would be thrown down, no matter how big and grandeur it beautiful it was, the temple, because Yahshua had seen something, but they didn't see that. So Yahshua's prediction was shocking. So let me change this one. Yahshua makes a dire prediction about the destruction of the temple immediately after this, while seated on the Mount of Olives. Yahshua responds to a question from the disciples. The disciples ask when judgment will come and what signs will signal his return. Yahshua described a season of unimaginable world turmoil and persecution. Yahshua points to a specific moment of defilement of the temple at a point that people should run for their lives. Yahshua speaks of world-threatening tribulation, which will be cut short right before he returns as king and judge. Since nobody can possibly know when Yahshua will return, we who follow Yahshua must live in readiness. Okay, Matthew 24, 1-14, the disciples asked for more information about these future events. So the disciples, they just kept asking. Yahshua described a season in which the world will be in turmoil, but that alone will not be proof enough that the end has come. So Yahshua, what did Yahshua mean by this? Are we paying attention to the signs? Many are not taking heed to what Yahshua said. What are some of the signs that you all notice? So this is a question that, some of the signs that you all notice, and you can write these things down. Like, what are some of the things that's happening that you all notice, that you see that Yahshua has said, or if you're not paying attention, then you won't know the signs. Yahshua's disciples chosen were persecuted. Some of them were killed and hated for Yahshua's namesake. False prophets will rise, and many will fall away from their faith and belief, turning against Yahshua. The great falling away. Now, I'm going to go over the notes down here. I had this coming event of Yahshua is symbolic to what happened in the wilderness with Moshe. This is why our Father says everything has already been done. We can look at what happened in the beginning and see exactly what will happen in the ending. And that's Exodus 24:15. Okay. Now, what is to come. The coming event of Yahshua is a mirror, is symbolic to what happened in the wilderness with Moses and the Israelites before. Our Father tells us what has been is what will be. What was done is what will be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Ahia does not change. This is why our Father says everything has already been done. We can look at what happened in the beginning to see what will happen in the ending. So we're going to look at the first temple. And this is the first temple, when the destruction of Jerusalem, and then a present when Yahshua said it's going to be total chaos and destruction. Okay, so we're gonna move on. The destruction coming past and present. So I just wanted to put a picture up here just to give us a visual of past and present. Past and present. Okay, so don't the present look like a some kind of desolate or some kind of wilderness to y'all? Do that look like a desolate or look like it could possibly be, you know, a wilderness? We're going to keep that in mind. Just keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind as we move along. Revelation chapter 17, 1-5. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, come, I will show you the judgment, the great harlot who sits on many waters. Okay. Y'all take notes. Please take notes. The great harlot who sits on many waters, the stuff that's highlighted, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with wine of her fornication. I'm recording, so y'all, I'm going to send y'all the recording anyway. Y'all can watch it over. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. So I'm going to read that again. So John was saying, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. Y'all see that, right? So John, or if John already seen what was going to happen in our time, John knew where that wilderness was at. I'm going to keep going. And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Pay close attention to this. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Verse 3 references Isaiah 14, verse 1-22, the fall of the Antichrist. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, because Isaiah said this too. Isaiah also referenced this. So it was mighty funny that everybody was in this wilderness to me. Okay, we're going to keep going. Now, the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet. Scarlet is almost a color that looks like a red. It looks almost red. We see all the gold. We see the pearls on the hat. We see the golden cup. This is the exact match of Revelation 17:4. Look at the picture. abomination of the earth. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. For those that have eyes to see and ears to hear will hear. You see, y'all see the screen. This is either this right here, what I'm showing you right now. This right here, what I'm showing you right now. You gotta let me know this. Click. Okay. This is either hidden in plain sight, or we are just not being watchful as we are commanded by our Father to do, so that we are not deceived. Now, if you have never seen this, it's either it's hidden in plain sight, or you have seen it, or you just not being watchful, or you just not paying attention. Because the Father says it's all over the place. They definitely, Satan can, the enemy has to tell the truth. They have to be truthful. I don't even know if some of y'all even know this man has already abolished the Father's 10 commandments and made his own commandments, where it was 30,000-40,000 people up on Mount Sinai, where they tried to mimic everything that Moshe already did. And then he wrote his own commandments. This man already has his own commandments, his 10 commandments, but he want to say they're the 10 commandments of climate change. That's a lie. We already know how Satan is a liar. He's a deceiver. He's going to tell you that it's the 10 commandments of the climate. Who gave you any right to revise anything? You can't revise. When I seen this, I was ready to go to war, literally. And I know women don't go to war, but I was so furious, y'all. I said, I wouldn't care what Google is saying. Google said, no, he's not changing the commandments. It doesn't matter. You have no right to revise a commandment list that the Father already gave us commandments. I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna calm down, because I had to calm down when I seen this. I couldn't believe it. I said, revise. I don't care if it was being revised. For me and my house, we're gonna do the commandments that Ahia gave us. I wouldn't care what y'all doing. Climate change, whatever y'all doing, whatever them commandments is, what all of y'all went on Mount Sinai to do. And why did it take everybody, 40,000 people, to go up in these high places to do this thing, if it's not you trying to make yourself like the Father? If you're not trying to make yourself like the Father, just like Revelation said, I'm going to make myself like the Most High. So you're doing all these things that's already been done. Let me keep going. I'm going to show y'all. Revelation 17:5 says, and on her forehead a name was written, mystery. So I said, Father, what is the mystery? I don't want it to be any more mysteries, Father. I need to know these mysteries, because we have to keep watch, and the Father is going to reveal these mysteries. And on her forehead, a name was written, a mystery, Babylon. One clue is the great. That's one of the clues. The next clue, I have them all highlighted: the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. The abomination of the earth, okay? Now, the Great Britain and Wales. Revelation 17:1-5. Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. There we go again, that verse 17:3, carried me away in the spirit, into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple. We already read that. I'm not going to read that over. Verse 5, and on her forehead, the name was written, Mystery Babylon. Okay, now, I want y'all to look at this map. Look at this map very close. I'm going to zoom in. I need y'all to get a paper and a pencil. Everybody get a paper and a pencil. Let me know when y'all got y'all paper and pencil. Everybody got your paper, pencils. Y'all have to write this down because this is a little exercise. And I want to see who's going to figure this thing out. I just want to see who's going to figure this out. Okay, write on your paper, W-A-L-E-S, Wales, right here. Let me get my pointer. W-A-L-E-S. This is one of the mysteries. You got it written down already? You got it written down? Okay. Y'all got it written down? Sisters, everybody on mute. Sisters. I think Ashley
Yeah, I got it wrote down.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you can unscramble this word and make whatever word that you want to make. This, everybody just write on your paper and unscramble. You can flip letters around because this is what the Father said they did in Psalms 49:11. So let me show y'all how we gonna, the Father says, unscramble, flip and twist, and see what name y'all come up with. See if y'all can come up with a name. Yeah. I want to see if somebody gonna come up with a name.
Want us to say it?
No, not you and Leisha. Nope. Shabbat shalom, Michelle. Made it in here. You on mute.
I sent her the link.
Oh, okay. Keith, you figure it out? Keith, you figure it out?
I'm thinking. Writing it down ain't gonna do it no good.
Sister Keisha,
You can't say it.
you said you could flip flop and rearrange and all that.
Right.
Yes,
Oh, okay, then I got it.
yes.
What is it?
What is it? What is it, Sister Ace? Hold on. What is it, Keith? No, go ahead. You can go first. What is it?
Why don't you just go ahead and talk? Hey,
Oh, okay, okay. So you don't know.
Wales, right?
Okay.
He looking.
He said Wales. That's a city in England or Britain.
Yeah, she did say something.
It's Wales right here. Yes.
What is it? Sister Ashley, what is it?
I think it's Salem.
Yes,
Oh, baby, peace.
yes.
It's an.
What's that got to do with it?
She's saying the word is an anagram.
Yes.
The word is an anagram, so you gotta flip the word and see what they really saying. And they only just switch the W.
So they hide.
So if you flip the W, yes.
Yeah, they hide it. They hiding it.
And what else? What else is called Salem, sis?
The well, that's it. It's Salem
The
is
Holy
peace. Yeah, the city of peace.
The city of peace, right?
Yeah.
And what else is it?
Well, the things that come to mind to me was well, Melchizedek. You know, he was the king of Salem, and he was
That's it. Who said that in the background?
Who said that in the background?
oh yeah, the Deja, Jerusalem.
What she say?
She said it's got to be probably the Holy Land or something because Jerusalem ends with Salem.
Come on,
Deja be nailing it, boy.
yes.
Jerusalem. That's the Holy Land. So the city of
Jerusalem, Salem.
yes, the city of peace. That's
Yes.
what
Come
Jerusalem
on,
is.
come on. Now look at this, y'all. I'm gonna go zoom back out. This the first mystery the Father showed us. I'm gonna zoom back out. Remember they said they got us from Africa on the Atlantic slave trade. Look
Mhm.
on this map. Where's the Atlantic Ocean at?
It's to the left of Wales.
And where's Jerusalem at? Right in the middle,
Hmm.
Then you have
Mhm.
England, you have Scotland, you have Ireland, you have all of that over there in that's why the Father keeps saying the great harlot, the Great Britain. And I'm going to show it's more. It's not, this going to blow the top off the, y'all just going to pop. I don't know. I almost passed out when I'm just ready to skip through the whole lesson and just go ahead and just show y'all the rest of this. But I'm a hold it. But y'all are right on point. Y'all are so on point. Very good, sisters. Very, very good. Look at that. Look at this. Let's go. Now, Salem is in the Bible.
We can't see.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, Genesis, y'all write this down because Salem is in the Bible 4 times. This is the Strong's Concordance. It's in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. It's also in Psalms 76:2. It's also in Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1, and Hebrews 7, verse 2. Write down the Strong's numbers and watch it tells you it's the promised land. It's going to tell you that's the promised land. So if that's the promised land, then that's the promised land. If that is the promised land, Salem, then that's the promised land, right? But we still need more proof, right? We still need some biblical proof, okay? We still need biblical proof because we just unscrambled some words, right? Okay. We're gonna keep going, but the Father did say it's a mystery, and the Father keep calling it the Great. And we know this is the Great Brit. And it's a reason why I have Brit separated, y'all. Brit in. Brit in. Okay? We're gonna get there. Our father Ahiah placed his name, Yeru, and the RV, the V makes the U sound. So that's why it says Yeru. Yeru Shalom. Shalom. They removed the H, and this is how they was spelling it. Yeru Shalom, with the V makes the U sound. Yeru, our father Abraham and Shem, two righteous people, gave the city its name. Shem named it Shalom, and Abraham named it Yeru. Now, Ahiah, the Holy One, said to cancel either of them is impossible. So I shall join them together and call it Yeru Shalom. That's how the name came about. He shall see its perfection. What is the meaning of Yeru? Ahiah, it means Ahiah exalts. And what is the meaning of Shalom? It means peace. The promised land is a place of awe. Yeru, Shalom, and service of Ahiah. And then you can reference Genesis 22, or and it will tell you who named what. And the book of Jubilees tells you exactly Shem and Abraham was the one, because Abraham, that was the same place where Abraham was going to sacrifice in his son Isaac. And that place right there, that's why Abraham, he called it Yeru. And then Shem, of course, Shem is older than Abraham, but it was already called Salem. They pronounce it Salem and Shalom. I was like, I was like, Shalom sounds right, because that AH is there, and we already know that AH is the breath of our Father. Like, just like we saying Ahiah. But if we take that H out, we take the breath of the Father out. So Shalom sounds right, because if you put that H back in there, there you go, that AH. And that AH is everywhere. The YAH, because the Y is the DNA chromosome. You can't never get rid of the Y, because in our bodies, our very bodies is the Y DNA chromosome. Our body, when we do our hands up like that and praise, we make our shape in a Y, the shape of a Y. The Father, when he does things, it always meant something. He did everything meant something. That's just how we was as a people. If we had a teddy bear sitting somewhere, we'll be like, well, what does it do? If it didn't do anything, we as Israel, we didn't just have things just sitting around like little idols and little statues, and like things like this. I have this sitting here, right? I have this sitting here. And they'll come in and say, well, what does this thing do? If it doesn't do anything, abstract, and this is how we was, it had to do something. Everything we use, like a plow, we used the plow was for something. Everything served a purpose. If it didn't do nothing, why is it there? So that's how we was as a culture and a people. It meant something. All the names that Ahiah gave meant something. It had meaning to it. Every word had meaning to it. Abraham gave that because that's the place he was going to sacrifice his son, and all the words mean something. They just don't just like for example, English alphabet, the A is for apple. No, the B is for ball, the C is for cat, the D is for dog. No, that's not how our alphabet was. Them symbols meant something. They meant something. Like the if you look at the symbol in the paleo, the Kaf, this for example, the Kaf is like a round and it's a line drawn through it. That was the sunset. And when you look at that, it was like, okay, that's the sunset. And so when they drew this on, when the Egyptians and stuff drew these little circle with a line between, we knew it's time for sunset. This is how we spoke. We spoke using these symbols, but all this stuff was taken from us. Them symbols meant something, just like them symbols mean something to these cults and these people in high places that use these symbols and things, and that had taken all the language and things from us. They use their own symbols, but they talk in codes, they talk in symbols, they use hand gestures and all that stuff because that stuff means something. Okay, we're gonna move on. Let me move on. Okay, right here, Revelation 17:6-8. I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahshua. And when this is one thing I probably needed y'all help with this one. Hold on. When I marveled with great amazement. The meaning of the woman and the beast, but the angel said to me, why did you marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman of the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns, right? So in verse 8, y'all, I was going to ask somebody, like, I was thinking that verse 8, and I just was still praying on this, like verse 8, it said, the beast that you saw was and is, but is not anymore, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. So when I seen that, I said, okay, and then I kept reading on, and I said, and those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was and is not and yet is. Because the Bible speaks about that time that it was the queen. It does speak about a time when it also, I'm gonna show y'all another verse where it spoke about her father's brother that gave up the throne. I'm gonna show y'all that verse because it said the 8th. Then I had to go back and I said, wait a minute, okay, who is the 8th? Because how did she even become queen? Because she wasn't supposed to be queen. She became queen because her father's brother gave up the throne, and the Bible says that. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. Just wait a minute. Let me get there. I'm about to show y'all this now because I was trying to put this part together because I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this is just a close-up look at what I just read. If y'all couldn't, see this right here. Was y'all able to see that clear? Was y'all able to see this clear? Okay, so I can skip past this. Okay, It's the same thing, but we're gonna go here. Now, this is the one. Okay, it says, here is to the mind which has wisdom. Now, this is when I got to really thinking. The father was like, okay, you gotta have some wisdom now, put on your thinking cap. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And then I started thinking, and I say, okay, the 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sits. I said, okay, got that part. There are also 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has not yet come. And when he comes, he must continue for a short time. We already know who that is, right? We already know who's going to come for a short time, the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is only for a short time until Yasha comes. And then Yasha shuts it all down, okay? Right? Let's go back. Right here. It says, what was I at? Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he, now it's saying he, because it says she. Right here, you see it says she. The beast that you saw was, and hold on, let me see, hold on. I will tell you the mystery of the woman and the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that you saw was and is not will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Now, right here it says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7. He is of the 7 and is going to perdition as well. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as of yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as the kings with the beast. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. Now, I'm move. Okay. Jerusalem sits on 7 mountains. It says 7. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Rome, Europe, sits on 7 mountains. The detail of the 7 hill mountains of Rome reveals the astounding accuracy of the prophetic writing. The 7 mountains hills of Rome are Avatine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Carlion, Capitolion, Esquilion, Palatine, Coronal, Vamanol. These are the 7 hills. Palatine was home to several Roman emperors. Okay. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. So this is Yasha. This is talking about Yasha. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, for he is the Mashiach, the King of Kings, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. Then he said to me, the waters which you saw is where the harlot sits. Are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For as Ahiah put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to be of one mind, to give their kingdom to the beast until the words of Ahiah are fulfilled. And the woman whom you saw is that great, there we go, that great city. Again, and the Father just keep on talking about this great, the great, the great, the great, the great, this calling it the great. But y'all gonna see why the Father, y'all gonna see why this is Britain is the how the Father broke this down. Y'all are not gonna believe it. City which reign over the kings of the earth. Y'all can follow me now, okay? Just follow me. We getting it. Signs of the end of age. Now, as the signs of the time. Now, before we go to the whole Britain thing, I'm just gonna get through the lesson. I was just gonna skip through and just but I say no, let me go in order and let me do this right. The sign of the times and the end of the age in Matthew 24, 3 and 8. 3 through 8. Now, as Joshua sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age?" And Joshua answered and said to them, "Take heed and let no one deceive you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and will deceive many." It says deceive many. "And you will hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For the nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilence with a S, earthquakes with a S in various places." Various places. And the Father says various places because it's not going to be everywhere. It's not going to be everywhere. It's going to be in various places this time. Once upon a time, y'all got to think the Father destroyed the whole everything with the flood. This time he's not going to do that because he's going to have people stored and tucked away places. That's why. People are going to be stored and tucked away. And I'm going to tell you, the Father knows how to hide something when he want to hide something, because he hid us so good that we didn't even know who we was. That's how he had things. Just like with that, I was saying, I can't remember. I think it was Sister Ashley, and I had said, well, don't they know that, I just couldn't understand how you over here building this temple and y'all know what's going to happen when y'all know what's going to happen when y'all build this temple? But it's like the Father has them blinded, just like he had us blinded. We didn't know, the Father can put a veil over anything and he can uncover it when he's ready for it to be uncovered. So eyes be wide open shut. And a lot of things we can watch now that we watched years ago, we see it now. But 20 years ago, we didn't see that when we watched it, or 10 years ago. Or even a television show. You can watch something that you watched 10 years ago. Just like I was sitting watching a TV show, and I believe it was Good Times, and they was talking about, well, the Israel, and Michael was talking about, well, the lost tribe, he could have been Black because the lost tribe, they were supposed to be from Israel. I never seen that before. But when you watch things now, they were telling you stuff through these TV shows. Way back when, but we never knew. But because you got to be truthful. The truth is out there. It's been out there. We just didn't see it. It was hidden in plain sight. So that's why the Father says famines in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrow, the beginning of labor pains. So let me move on. These are the beginning of birth pains, labor pains, and we're going to look at this is the part we're going to look at deceived. I want y'all to look at these words. Before we go to the next slide, I want y'all to look at these words. Deceive. Because I don't think, I was like, let me just pull this up so we can see how these people we put so much faith in. I'm trying to refrain from using certain words. And because they censor things, but we got to look at this. Look at these words. The swindle. We got to make sure. Yahshua said, make sure you're not being swindled. Make sure you're not being tricked, hoodwinked, hoaxed, duped, misled, misguided, ensnare, entrap. All of them is deceived. That's just what Yahshua's saying. Make sure that we are not deceived. We have these people out here tricking people every single day. I talked to, let me just move on. Let me move on because y'all gonna see this. Very wicked, evil, deceiving. This is the most wickedest and evil and deceiving, and Yahshua spoke on this Matthew 24:4. Bribes and a satanic agenda. So, with nearby 1/3 of the red, white, and blue adults now fully shot up against the plague, according to the most recent, y'all see my screen, and the number of daily shots being given now headed down. Many y'all got to read it on with me. Y'all already know how YouTube do. They always trying to censor something. They not censoring my video. No, you're not. And the number of daily shots being given now headed down. Many of the health officials, i.e. Satan's children across the country, have turned their attention to those hesitant to get the medical decision. Some mass shots places have begun to close smaller sites of some unusual locations. They was all at, look at this, y'all. They was all at S clubs, festivals, given the medical situation popping up, giving all kinds of incentives. I was talking to my other son, Sean. He said, Mom, they was offering me the $400. They was gonna give me $400, and then it went up to $600. I started looking kind of, it was kind of strange. Why they kept on up in the money? Because one thing, this right here says cash. They was offering people savings bonds and liquor. And then they had this activists and business are giving free cannabis to those who have taken the medical decision. And y'all see my screen right there. Y'all see the people who did this policy reform group in the nation's you already see that announced in early January, and it was launched. Look at that in J for J campaign. This is being tricked. This is being duped. This is being deceived. This is of the devil, because everything in it is of the devil. The liquor, you offering, you know, this all kinds of, this is just wicked. And then we don't know what, we know natural stuff that's grown with seeds. Cana, that's where they got cana bosom from. Cannabis, because it's canna, and then it was the bus, the BS on end. But that's another, I ain't gonna get into that because y'all already know. That's where the cannabis come from. But if you put a K right there and put a space in between the BIS, you got BHS. It ain't no BIS, it's BHS. Bus, bosom, cannabis. That's why they call it cannabis. Cannabis. That's where the bis come from, because they had to, you know, do the bosom or whatever. Y'all know what I mean. Okay, that's where the cannabis come from. But yeah, they was offering all this. That's one deceive and trick that y'all should tell us to look out for. We gotta be wise as the serpent and harmless as the dove, and be able to be on the lookout for these wicked people. He said, many will come in my name and deceive many. This is talking about, Yasha is talking about people with a platform that deceive many. Who has platforms to deceive many? That's one. Platforms to deceive many. Platforms to deceive many people. Look at this. Platforms to deceive many. It doesn't say it's going to be false prophets and stuff rising up, and these is people that have these platforms to deceive many. These platforms, people are being deceived. This is what Yasha is talking about. Then he said, I don't know if y'all seen this, rumor of wars. And now this was on the TV. The whole world seen this. It flashed, and it was like a flash. If y'all didn't see it, this was on the news. And it was this Russian protester that interrupted a live TV broadcast, holding up a sign when they were trying to tell us that it was a war going on, but the whole world had wound up seeing this lady running across the screen with a sign. And they was trying to, and then the whole TV just went down and everything, and it was all over the news. So this is one rumor, what y'all should mean by rumor of wars. But we didn't heard many times of rumors of wars, but this is what the Father is talking about. You know, they're going to tell you this is going on when it's really that going on. You know what I'm saying? Because they preparing to do something else. Satan is come to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. He's a liar. He's nothing but a liar. He is a liar. That's what he is. So we can't believe nothing. Okay, we're going to go to the next one, persecution. Persecution predicted 24, 9 through 14. So then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake, and then many will be offended. Okay, these are the next slides that's coming up. It's going to show offended, people being offended, the betrayal that's in the world, and then stuff that's wide stream. So I kind of highlighted what Yasha was saying about these are the signs that we got to pay attention to. These are a lot of the signs. Like, we sit and see these things going on in our world, but with our carnal mind, And we don't understand what these things mean spiritually. It has a spiritual meaning to it. Everything happening today, rest assured, it has a spiritual meaning. And I'm going to show you today, right now. Many will be offended and will betray one another and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many, and because of lawlessness will abound, the love of many shall grow cold. We just read over this and just read over there like it ain't enough. We got to read and then go look for what the Father talking about. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all of the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Now, Joshua makes a dire prediction about the destruction of the past event of the temple past event, and then immediately after that, after this, while seated on the Mount Olives, Joshua responds to a question from the disciples. They ask when judgment will come and what signs will signal his return, current time events. Joshua described a season of unimaginable world turmoil, persecution, defilement of a temple. Defilement of what temple? He points to a specific moment of a defilement of the temple, at which point people should run for their lives. Y'all remember that? We went over that earlier. I'm just touching back on it. Joshua speaks of world-threatening tribulations, which will be cut short right before he returns as king and judge. Since we cannot be 100% sure, we got to be with readiness. Okay, now I'm going to go to this one. This is the biggest betrayal that's all plastered all around the entire world. Why is that? But you let me tell you something, what Satan does. He plasters this stuff all around the world. Meanwhile, they be over there doing something else, like going on that Mount Sinai, 40,000 people up on the Mount Sinai writing the 10 Commandments. While you sitting over here, got your mind focused on something that's unimportant. I'm not saying this is important because a life, we lost another one of our sisters. We lost, may she rest in peace. But this is why they put this Will Smith slap in front of your face, because meanwhile, they're over there on Mount Sinai, making up the 10 Commandments and writing down this and writing down that. So it's unimportant, the unimportance that they put in front, most especially the Will Smith slap. I knew they had something going on at that time. And during that time, while that was going on, and they was over there in Dubai having a whole 50,000 of them. All of them was sitting over there. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about with that red and them things. Y'all know, right? Y'all know. Okay. This is what we see in the news. But anytime y'all see these things in the news, say to yourself, what is spiritual behind this? Could it be a spiritual message the enemy is sending behind Cabo 6? Something just didn't sit right with me when I seen it. And I was just like, every time it's something they trying to distract you with, I'm going to seek for other reasons why that's out there. So I started looking for Cabo. I went and did some research. And y'all can find this in a Spanish dictionary. Cabo means the end, final, tie up all loose ends. It can mean beginning of the end, be well informed, carry something out, So then I said, well, what this 6 is all about? I'm gonna show y'all what that 6 is all about. I'm not gonna say nothing right now. I'm gonna wait till I get there and I'm gonna tell y'all what that 6 is all about. Because I'm just gonna stay, but that Cabo, y'all already see what else you know, the other definitions. That's we thinking Cabo 6, oh yeah, you know, no. Go to a Spanish dictionary and get the other meanings, and these are the other meanings that what Cabo means. Okay, so they send messages through, because that's how these people operate. These people operate using signs and signals and symbols and codes, and they want you to figure it out too. So our Father do too, because guess what? The Bible is plenty. The Bible says mystery. So we know things is a mystery. We got to be like Detective Spectre Gadget. Yep, sure do. We got to be like the Inspector Gadget. And the Father said, be watchful, be alert, be watchful, be alert. He didn't tell you have your head in the sand. He did not tell us to have our head in the sand. He said, be watchful, be alert. Be watchful. How you going to watch for things if your head in the sand? You ain't going to know what hits you. You're not going to know nothing. So we got to be watchful, be alert. Many are offended. We see this all around the world. It's not just Kanye anti-Semitic. How are we going to be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people? So we got to look at what Yasha said, but it's going to be so many people going around the world offended. What do we see? Everybody's all so offended now. Everybody, and all kind of hate has been very visible lately. High-profile entertainers and athletes have openly spouted anti-Semitic tropes. Former President Donald Trump dined recently with an outspoken Holocaust diner. Beyond these headlines, there has also been a steady rise in number of hateful incidents directed at many people over the past several years, most especially us as the chosen nation. We have been hated for over 400 plus years. But it's not that it's like things that happen to us. We ain't supposed to get offended, or we not supposed to feel any kind of way. And, you know, but unless you say something about the Jays. If you say something about Jay, then they get offended. But, you know, you can't say anything about the Jays, but they can say everything about us. And we not, and we not supposed to get offended. But, you know, let me just move on. To the next one. What our Father said, and this is another one, the sin that caused the end, the flood, the Sodom and Gomorrah, the DNA corruption. We see this all around the world. This is when you start messing with the children, let me tell you something. The Father will start striking immediately. This is why you see all that stuff going on over there, like in different places, because now this is how, you know, this is wicked. This is the most wicked, but they say it's okay. Even this place down here on the bottom left hand with the fuchsia on, that's at our house in Miami, with all them kids parading around that place. And DeSantis, he never even shut the place down in Miami. Them kids were parading all around with this. Look what they got on. Where is DCF at? Where are they at? They not nowhere to be found to protect these children. Nowhere to be found to protect these children from these predators. Nowhere. No child should be going through, be even exposed to this. You know, no, this is absolutely no. The Father don't like it. He don't like it. First Corinthians chapter 6, verse. We all adults here. We all adults here. Look at that. Look at that First Corinthians 6. Even they use the biblical things for these sexual positions. I was like, even all these sexual positions, they even use Bible verses. Bible chapters and verses. Or do you not know that unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of a higher? Do not be deceived. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor thieves, nor covetousness, nor drunkards, nor revelers, and effeminate, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of a higher. Now, down at the bottom right, that was a bull that was attacking. Let me zoom in so y'all can see this. This was a bull that start attacking the people. They had the bull. I don't know how the bull got it loose or whatever, but it was a bull that started, and that's in the Bible as well. I was going to put that. I forgot to put the verse down there. I should have put the verse in the notes, but they huh? I have to find that verse. I have to find that verse for y'all. But it's in the Bible. If anybody know that verse, type it in the chats. Let me see. Okay. Okay, for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, y'all is not gonna, just came in this morning. It's a spiritual meaning behind this, and they're using another one of our people to do it. It's not about her, because it's not about her. It's like, let me tell y'all what's going on. So this morning, Trump gets on, aside from they want to parade and they always want to parade us around, in the news, our sin and our, abomination of Israel or whatever. Aside from that, that's not what this all about, though. Trump gets, let me tell y'all what's the big picture, because this is tied to civil war. Because now, Trump, he was already barred from off of Twitter. So I was like, okay, if he was barred off of Twitter, then how come y'all let him back on Twitter? Okay. Well, of course, we know Elon Musk takes over Twitter and lets Trump back on. Well, he gets on there and trashes Brittany Griner. This caused all of them people that was over in that White House, them people that was scaling these crazy people. These people, y'all seen them people that was all his allies that was all over there downtown and doing all this stuff. I'm not even going to repeat some of the things that they were saying about her, but it's not targeted at her. It's targeted at, we already know, it's Biden against Trump. And it also is creating, you got to create chaos, get chaos out of order, because you got to create this. So all of these people, I'm talking about everybody, it's just, I don't know, y'all can go look at it. It's just off the chain. This stuff has attacking her and saying that, you know, they just, I don't even want to repeat half of the stuff. But of course you have the whole Biden administration on her side, and all the people, you know, she got millions and millions of people on her side. And then Trump has millions and millions on his side. What does this create? It creates not a race war, it creates civil war. Because y'all starting stuff, you starting stuff, and you got people saying this and saying that, and then this one saying this, and they back and forth, and then even the ones like on Twitter, they getting into it. You know, people getting into it just online. Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, what this can start. You know, I don't know how out of hand it's gonna get, because it just started this morning. He just tweeted this stuff this morning about her that caused all this, you know, and it's sad. But we don't look at the big picture, because it's not about her. They always use somebody, got to use somebody as a puppet or something. You know what I'm saying, or target. But we know what it's really about. We know that it's about Trump got beef with Biden, and at the end of the day, they all best friends for real, because I seen the whole thing with it, all of them in there playing golf together. They all at the golf course together. They all in this together. Okay, at the end of the day, they all on the same team, but they all have an agenda. They have a part they have to do and a part they have to play. Okay, it's your part to do this and your part to do that. But look at y'all see my bottom screen. Yeah. And then we have a bunch of lawlessness. Yasha said lawlessness all over. I could have went on forever with the lawlessness. Trump is violated the Hatch Act over 50 times. And the Hatch Act is just something that is pretty much like, if you work for the federal government, right? You can't use your office to campaign. Or if you work for the federal government, you got to quit your job before you run for office. Or if you work for the federal government, you can't be walking around with your button on. You know, they got all these kind of rules. You know how the Pharisees and Sadducees is. They set all kind of rules, and you know, so that's what the Hatch Act is all about. The police department scandal filled with all sorts of lawlessness. Trump administration officials have not faced any meaningful consequences for breaking the law. They break the laws all the time and get away with everything. At least another 22 officials are presently under investigation for nearly 100 more violations, despite repeated flagrant violations of the Hatch Act. These just forever going for it's never ending lawlessness online. I'm not writing all this. I would have been filled up 100 slides. No, it's so much lawlessness out there in there, but that just know that this is a few of them. So the revelation and the great tribulation, and we're going to go on here. Therefore, when you see, this is great tribulation, Matthew 24:15-19. And then this is where Yasha said, therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. And this was talking about the first one. Remember the two let me see. This is where they were fleeing. Right here. Let me just go back so y'all can get that visual. Okay, this is when everybody was escaping. They were just trying to escape, and you know, and this is what Yasha was talking about right here. Okay, let's go back. Okay, flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house. which I still believe that this did happen, but the Romans came in and conquered a land, conquered the promised land. Because that's the temple. That's where the Temple Mount is. But y'all gonna see as we go to the other one. Whoever reads, let him understand. Verse 16, then let those who are in, okay, I read that. Let him who is on the house, I read that. And yes, I read that too. And let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant in those days, those who are nursing babies. I'm like, did I read? I read all that. Didn't I read all that? Did I read all that, y'all? Okay. All right. And pray that your flight may not be in the winter or on the Sabbath, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. Hallelujah. Then if anyone says to you, look, he is over there, the Messiah is over there, and he's over here, and he's over there. Y'all hear me when I tell y'all this. What did Yasha say? He said, do not believe it. It's gonna be, let me just go to the next one, because Yasha already said, don't believe it. Don't believe what these people, for false messiahs, false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders. This is what he is going to do once he's staying in this temple. Once he's staying in this temple, once he's staying in the temple, let me go down. This is what is going to perform great signs and great wonders. Once this person stand, and this one picture on the right-hand side, that is a Muslim. They are making a treaty. Let me tell y'all, this is real. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to the 7-year thing that what is going on in this picture. Let me go down. I'm going to let y'all know what's going on. What's going on in this picture? False messiahs, false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the very elect. Because if we see lightning coming from the sky, or we see something miraculous, that's what Yasha is saying. He said, if that's a big word to be so small. The Father said, if it was possible, because guess what? It's not even possible. The Father said, it's not even possible to fool my very elect ones. You're not going to do it. They're not going to believe it, because he said, we going to already know. We already know firsthand who you are. You already been unveiled to us. But it's going to be so many people that's deceived by this, because they don't know. They're not going to know. They're not going to know. They're going to be caught. The Father said some people it's going to be like a thief in the night. He's coming like a thief in the night to some people, but not to us, because we sitting waiting for him. We sitting waiting for him every day. We waiting. We already going to know what time it is. But it's our responsibility to continue to pray, plant the seeds, and let the Father give the increase, because he has to draw you to him. We don't have the power to draw nobody to do nothing. All we can do is pray and continue to plant the seeds and pray that the Father give the increase and bring the rest of our brothers and sisters out of darkness, because not knowing is in the dark. Not knowing, you are in the dark. Therefore, if you are in this truth, you are blessed. That's it, because the Father didn't bring you in this truth for nothing. He's gonna use us. He's gonna use his very elect, and he's gonna show us how he's gonna use. It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna show y'all. Verse 26. Therefore, if they say to you, look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Y'all see what Yasha said? He said, do not go out there. Y'all remember this, because these famines and all types of stuff, it'd be famines of hunger. It's going to be famines of thirst, famines of the word, famines of, it's many famines. It's many different types of famine. For as lightning, look what Yasha said in verse 27. This is why I put this in green, because Yasha is telling you, for as lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will the coming of Yasha and the Son of Man be. He said, not near person gonna have to be able to tell you nothing. That's like nobody don't have to tell you when it's winter. Nobody have to tell us when it's spring, summer, or fall. The Father said, you gonna know when I'm out there. Trust me. Ain't nobody gonna have to say, Leisha, he's out there. Sister Ashley, he's out there. Sister Mom, he's out there. Brother Keith, he's out there. No, the Father says, lightning will come from here, flash from here to Georgia, and you're going to see. You're going to know when it's Yasha. Nobody going to have to tell you nothing. For wherever a carcass, dead bodies is, there the eagles, the enemy will be gathered. Okay. And Job 3:2 said, I will gather the nations of the world and bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. Y'all see that? Make sure y'all keep this once we go into this next mystery with the Father. The Father says they divided up my land. It's another part. It's because we already know you got Israel, you got the Vatican over there, you got this, you got this, you got the Father. This is what the Father is talking about. Y'all just follow along with me. The Father is saying in Job 3:2, they divided up my land. The Father tells us in Psalms 49:11, they are going to take all of y'all names from off of the maps and replace them and put their names on the maps. So nothing on the maps is the names that originally that was there. Because the Father already told us in Psalms 49:11 what these people was going to do. So everything we look at, y'all, is wrong. It's their names. It's names, but it's their names. Because guess what? We can look on the map nowhere today and see Judah and see Simeon and Levi and Reuben and Gad and Benjamin. And where's all these names at? Where did these names? The Father said they're going to remove them. He said, no, they're going to take all of y'all names off these maps and they're going to put their names on there. Not the names that was originally on none of these maps. That's what the Father told us. No, Israel now officially known around the world as the State of Israel, a country in Western Asia. Israel stands at the crossroad of Asia, Europe, and the land of Ham. Psalms 49:11, our Father speaks further on what they have done to his land and how all names and locations have been changed. Nothing, I already went over that. I didn't even know I had it written right there. So, yep, nothing we see today on the current maps are originally names of the locations. That's what I just got finished saying. I know that I thought I didn't remember that I typed it there. Okay. So this is rebuilding of the third temple, Daniel chapter 8, verse 13 and 14. That this is they are over in, I'm trying to explain this. They're over there building this temple, and the man, the Antichrist, is going to come inside this temple, and he's going to blaspheme the Father, something he already did. I have a little clip I wanted to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all where actually it was blasphemous stuff going on. It was just all over the news. So it was just something we probably missed because I've never seen it before. But when I did see it, I was very disturbed by it. I was very, very disturbed. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint, which spoke, how long shall it be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the abomination of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot? And he said to me, for 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be restored. Daniel 9:27, the Antichrist will confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle of the week he shall put a stop to the sacrifice and the offerings, and the abomination of desolation shall be on the wing of the temple until the decreed destruction is poured out on the desolator. Now, the abomination of desolation is going to occur in this temple right here. Yes. You said something? The abomination of desolation, when they finish rebuilding this third temple, this is where everything's supposed to go down, and that is being built over there in Israel. That is being built over there in Israel. Okay. Actually, it's currently being built. Daniel, the rebuilding of the temple. Now, this is something that they, okay, this is something that they are over there doing to bring in the Antichrist. This is all these things. And so I want to explain this the best way that I can. And this is why you're not going to see red heifers or anything like that Daniel, he doesn't really mention the red heifers. But all these things that they're doing, they're preparing for the coming of the Antichrist, the rebuilding of the third temple, the sacrifices, these heifers, sacrificing these heifers. All this is they setting up the temple for the coming of their so-called supposed to be Yahshua. So, which is not Yahshua, it's the Antichrist. So this is what they doing, but they're setting up. So do you I wanted to make sure that mom understood that, because she was saying she was looking in the Bible for the red heifers. I was like, no, you're not gonna see the red heifers in the Bible. This is just like I was trying to explain to her about, the red heifers and what they're setting up. These are just the things that they're doing to set up for their it's pretty much they're setting up for their king to come. Their Messiah, their king, because the Antichrist is their king. They worship. How many people do we see around the world that's saying, Holy Father, what worship this person? We see all around, it's billions of people that worship. Listen, it's billions of people around the world. And y'all know for yourself that worship this person. They bow to this person. I even heard Obama say, Holy Father. Holy Father? You said holy what? I was through when I heard that. Nobody is the Holy Father except the Father above in heaven. It's people that worship. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is why it's not going to be like it's not going to be something that's you're not going to know. Because what's going to happen, they're going to have to eventually, he's going to eventually have to say who, you know. But, of course, Israel will be humbled and tucked away. And I'm going to show y'all that how the Father is going to do, how the Father's going to do that, how he's going to, yeah, everything. But this is why I say Antichrist, because you have to know who the Antichrist is. People worship a person. You have people that worship, they worship people. Everybody worship this person. So y'all have to understand that. That's the best way that I can explain the Antichrist to y'all. And people are setting up this temple and setting up for the coming of the Antichrist. That's it. That's who that, and then they're going to go in there and blaspheme the Father when they get in there. They're going to come against Yahshua. These people, that's what this is all about. They're going to be sacrificed. Okay, actually, let me see. It's I think it's on the next slide. Daniel 11, his armed forces was rised up, and I hope y'all to pollute the temple, fortress, and will abolish the daily sacrifice. Then they will set up an abomination that causes desolation. And then Daniel 12:11, they will form from the time the daily sacrifice is abolished and the abomination that causes desolation is set up, there will be 1,290 days left. Daniel, that's like 3.5 years. Daniel chapter 11:37, neither shall he regard the father of his fathers, nor will he have desire for a woman. So what is Daniel telling us right here? Nor regard any God, for he will magnify himself above all. So Daniel is already describing to you right here the person I just showed you on my screen. Because I'm going to show you what scripture means by Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. 2 Corinthians, Paul writes, Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. What does this mean? It is clear from the larger context of this passage that the comparison is similar to the false apostles that Paul writes about and discusses with us. Verse 13 states, for such men are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles, and Yahshua, Satan, Yahshua, these false teachers were attempting to look like apostles and like apostles, even though they are deceitful. Similarly, Satan often presents himself as a positive spiritual force. This is what we see him doing. He always saying, oh, it's climate change and this and that, fooling everybody. You're being hoodwinked. and you're being fooled. If you fall into it, don't believe nothing that this come out this person's mouth. It's just not true. Though it's his true intentions, it said, though his true intentions are evil. In all truth, Satan attempts to present himself as an angel of light might have relevance to many of the spirit beings that people discuss in this world. Many people claim to speak with friendly spirits because they become involved with fortune telling or speak with the spirits of the dead. Though these spirits may present themselves as positive and harmless, they are deceptive and lying spirits, similar to what Paul mentions in this passage. How can we distinguish between a true angel of light and Satan? Psalms 119 and 105 says, Ahiah's word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. By comparing experiences with Ahiah's word, we can help evaluate whether the messages that people claim to be our Father, to see if spirits are consistent with Ahiah's will and his word. Most people are operating with the spirit of error. We must rightly divide the word of Ahiah, read and study to show thyself approved. In addition, 1 John 1 verse 7 shares, but if we walk in the light as Yahshua is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Yahshua that cleanses us from all sin. In other words, our close walk with Ahiah and his son Yahshua will help us avoid tricks of Satan when he seeks to deceive us, just as Yahshua identified and stood against the temptation of Satan in the wilderness, and that's in Matthew 4. We just went over that. We had that chapter 4, verse 1 through 11. Go back and read to refresh your memory if you need to. We can likewise stand against spiritual attacks through a close walk with Yahshua. Stay rooted in Yahshua. He is our protection. 1 Peter chapter 5, 8 through 9 warns us of Satan's deception, saying, be sober-minded, be watchful, be watchful, be watchful. Do not have your head buried in the sand. Be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. Yahshua through Peter also commands us, resist the enemy, be firm to your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. In addition, to be alert and be watchful does not require us to bury our heads in the sand or ignore what is going on around us. We are commanded to be alert and be watchful. Why does our Father commands us to do this? So that we are not deceived. This is why, so we are not deceived. When we seek the truth of Ahiah's word, follow Yahshua in obedience, and stay alert for Satan's deception, we prepare ourselves to better resist the challenges we will face. We are called to put on the full armor of Ahiah. That's Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 through 18, covering ourselves in Ahiah's power in prayer to stand firm against the attacks and the evil one. Now, this is the 7-year covenant that was made on May the 28th, 2021. Y'all see my screen right here? Where's my pointer? Right here. I meant to highlight this. Let me read it. We need a new, this is what was said during the presenting of this 7-year covenant. We need a new ecology ecological approach. Is the ecological approach? We need a new ecological approach. Forgive me, sorry about that. That can transform our way of dwelling in the world. Our way of dwelling in the world, our lifestyles, our relationships within resources of the earth, and in general, our way of looking at humanity and of living life. But y'all see my screen, he said in a video message released May 28, 2021, he launched the action plan platform. The new initiative is a 7-year journey that will see our communities committed in different ways to becoming totally sustainable in the spirit of integral ecology. Write that down, and then y'all can go look up spirit of integral, which, if I'm saying that right, forgive me if I'm not saying that right, y'all. The platform is meant to help those who want to increase their commitment to bringing Ladouceur to the life by promising a set of actions over a period of 7 years. He said this can only come about by everyone working together in a coordinate effort. Only in this way will we be able to create the future we want. I don't know, but one creator, you're going to create the future that you want? Oh, okay. So we got to pay attention to these key words in here. The way these people's talking. Create. It's only one creator. A more inclusive, fraternal, peaceful, and sustainable world, he said. Okay. Now, right here was this. You can also look in Revelation where you we're going to see that Ladouceur, the church of Ladouceur. Satan, the Antichrist, goes against the highest laws. Satan, the Antichrist, has revised the 10 commandments and writes his own set of commandments. Are we all aware of this? I didn't already told y'all because I was so heated because I couldn't even believe it when I found out. Most are probably not aware of this, not considering Satan will come as an angel of the light. Satan is a liar and the father of lies. The Antichrist forbids to marry, just like Daniel writes in the scripture that the Antichrist will not have a desire for a woman. So it's been exposed. It's not like we don't know who this person is, because Daniel even told us, oh, he's not going to have a desire for a woman. Well, what is Daniel telling us right here then? If the Antichrist does not desire a woman, could this mean the Antichrist will desire the opposite sex? I mean, the same sex? We're going to move on. What is Daniel telling us right here? Y'all better listen to Daniel, because Daniel's seen everything. He's seen everything. We just need to follow suit, follow along what Daniel was saying. He said the Antichrist is going to forbid to marry. He said he's not going to have a desire for a woman. Daniel wrote this. It's in Daniel 11, verse 37. Neither shall he regard the God of his father, nor have desire for a woman, nor have regard for any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Above all. He is going to be like the Most High. He wants to be like the Most High. He's not going to be like the Most High. 1 Timothy 4:3, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats. forbidding to marry. Even Timothy told us he's a forbidding to marry, which Ahiah have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. The Pope spend his day learning multiple languages. He attend confessions. This is all stuff you can find online. Like, how does he spend his day? What do he do? You know, so I was able to find this online. Meet with heads of the state. Lead, what did Yasha say? Lead masses of services. Lead them where? Lead them where? What did Yasha say where they gonna lead them to? What did Yasha say they gonna lead them to? The Father says they gonna come in using my name, leading a mass of people. And then remain celibate. This means no, the Pope do not marry. So was Timothy right? Forbidding to marry. Yes, Timothy was. I think very much so. Every prophet in the Bible knew what's going on. We just the ones don't know what's going on. We need to open our eyes and wake up. That's it. Open our eyes and wake up to what's going on around us and stop being closed-eyed to everything going on around us, because this stuff is real. It's real. It's already, that's what that Cabo 6 was all about. Because if you look at the date, let's look at the date. Oh, okay, this was, so is that a message of them telling us, oh, Cabo 6, the end 6, Cabo is the end, 6 more years left? Is that what the Cabo 6? I don't know. I'm just like, okay, I know you did this agreement on May 28, 2021. So May 28, 2022 was 1 year, right? So do we got 6 years left or not? Yes. It's 2 years. I'm telling you, within 2 years, these people you're going to start seeing things. Because 3.5 years, because the last 3.5 years, then you got that's the great tribulation, the last 3.5, not 3.5 is going to be like, but because the 1 year is going to be left to when Yasha comes. When Yasha comes is 1 year, because we reign with the Father for 1,000 years. And y'all gonna see that in Jeremiah. When I get to Jeremiah, everything Jeremiah, Isaiah, how the Father going to put us into the wilderness, how he going to hide us, how he going to do this, how he going to do that, you know, because it's just never ending, because these are questions and answers we all had. We all was looking for. And I believe Sister Ashley and Sister Crystal, they have done videos on, y'all can go, you know, check out their videos with the Exodus. And, you know, we was having questions about the ships of Tarshish and wondering how we gonna get here, ordering this book, that book. You know, it's never ending. It's never ending, but the Father reveals it. And it was such a beautiful, glorious thing to this stuff to be revealed the way that it was. But we need to wake up to what's going on around us. Although, you know, if we want to be under the protection of the Father, and you know, we need to go be make sure we are rooted with the Father. Okay. Yeah. Let's go here. This is the 7-year action plan that's in hand. We see that. And also, if y'all want to see it in action, oh, it's on YouTube. It's a video of it, and it's also a video of the 10 commandments that they did on Mount Sinai. The videos is out there. Absolutely 1000%, it sure is. And I have a little clip that I wanted to show y'all. And I'm going to wait till after I read this. To the angel of the church of Laodicea, right? I am the faithful and true witness, the beginning of creation of all, says this. I know this is the Laodicea. This is the Laodicea right here. We see this right here. This right here. That right here is the same as this, what I have highlighted here. Okay, right here. Y'all see this. Launches the 7-year Laodicea. It's been done. So it says, I am the faithful and true witness, the beginning of creation of all, says this. This is what Ahia says to the church of Laodicea. I know your deeds, that you are neither hot nor you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. This is what the Father is saying to them, because you say, I am rich, we have become wealthy and have need of nothing. You don't know. Then the Father says, you don't know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. Because the Father says, it doesn't matter how many billions of dollars you have, the Father can see how poor, blind, naked, wretched, and pitiful and poor you are. You really are. You might be on, the Father said they may think that he's using them for a while, but yeah, they won't be in that position for long. I counsel you to buy me gold. I counsel you to buy from me gold and refined in the fire, that you may be rich in white garment, that you may be clothed, that the shame of your nakedness may be revealed, and anoint your eyes with the eye salve, that so you may be able to see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Therefore be zealous and repent. But these people don't want to repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him, and he with me. To him who overcomes, I will grant to sit with me on my throne, as I also overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. These are Antichrist will come as an angel of light, deceptive speech, lies, deceit, and deception, performing false end time, signs, and wonders. 2 Corinthians 2:14, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. The first one is Mark 13:22. The second one is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. The third one is Revelation 13, verses 13 through 14, and the Revelation 16, verse 13 through 14, and Revelation 19, verse 20. I'm not going to read all those right now. I'll just, I'm recording it, so y'all will still be able to get a copy of this. I can forward everybody a copy. The Antichrist makes the world like a wilderness. The Antichrist make the world like a wilderness. Isaiah 14. Now, this is the verse that Isaiah was talking about. This is right here. And then Revelation 17:3. So the Antichrist makes the world like a wilderness. Is this the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world like a wilderness? Remember John, in Revelation 17:3, John kept saying, and Isaiah was saying, the earth made desolate by the king of Babylon, the great, Rome, the Antichrist, the beast out of the sea, the son of destruction, the man of sin, the little horn, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast full of blasphemous names, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So right here, Revelation 17:3, it said, and he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. But Isaiah 14, if you look up Isaiah 14, it says, is this the man who made the world like a wilderness? Y'all see that? The world will be a wilderness. The whole world will be the wilderness. People say, oh, we got to go back to the wilderness. We sure are going to be in the wilderness, because this going to be the wilderness that we in. And the Father going to have us in our secret place, wherever he hiding us, wherever he going to hide us. This is, once everything is taken, then he going to take us up and put us back in our land. And I'm going to show y'all in Jeremiah where the Father says he going to do it, but he going to hide us in the wilderness. We're going to be hidden inside the wilderness, because the wilderness is where we at. This is the wilderness. If the whole world is going to be a wilderness, because this stuff, he's creating one world religion, one world order, one world this, one world that, one world, everything is going to be the whole world going to be following this person. So the whole world is going to be made into a wilderness. So guess who's going to be left out of that? The righteous ones. It's going to be people still standing. And this is going to be the wilderness. It's going to be desolate. We're going to see how it's nothing going to be stubbles and rocks. And then the Father says he's going to, in Jeremiah, what he going to take us from the wilderness, this world. And he going to take us and put us back into our land where he's prepared this place for us, make a new covenant, all this. And I'm going to let y'all see right now. Now, y'all got it at first. Now we going into the mystery. Now we going into the mystery, y'all. Okay. Okay. This is the mystery. Let me get to it. Okay. The mystery of the Great Britain. Wales and Great Britain. Britain holds the deepest, darkest history of all times. Why does our Father call it Mystery Babylon the Great? Here we go, y'all. Okay, Brit. Now we're going to explain the Brit first, and then I'm going to explain the iron. I'm going to give it to y'all the same way the Father gave it to me. I ain't deviate to the left or to the right. This is how the Father gave it to me. Brit. The meaning in Hebrew, Brit means, in Hebrew, the word Brit means, it's also pronounceable as Brit and Britch, meaning covenant. A covenant people. Brit means covenant, just that one word. So in Hebrew vernacular, we have Brit Milah, like a covenant of cutting. So if you see Brit Milah, that's covenant of cutting, or Brit in short may also be associated with circumcision. Don't worry, I'm going to give y'all biblical proof. Don't worry, don't worry. There is also the term Brit-Am, covenant of people, in connections. Y'all write this down now. In connections with the 12 tribes, Isaiah 42:6 and Isaiah 49:8. This is very noteworthy that the Father's name, I am that I am, a highest covenant people. Right here. I am that I am, a highest covenant people. I am that I am, a high, y'all see it? Okay. Now, Isaiah 42:6, verse 6-8. I, Ahiah, have called you in righteousness. And I also pulled the verse up for y'all because I was like, let me go ahead and pull up Isaiah 42:6 and Isaiah 49:8, because I, just want to put it on the screen so y'all can see it and I can read it also. 6, 7, and 8, verse 6, 7, and 8. And it says, I, Ahiah, have called you in righteousness and will hold your hand. I will keep you and give you as a covenant to the people, as a light to the Gentiles, to open blind eyes, to bring out prisoners from the prison, those who sit in darkness from the prison house. I am, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, nor my praise to carved images. That's the Brit. Now, the Brit part is not in the Bible, but I'm gonna show y'all the part that is. Now, this is the rest of the 7, the rest of the verse. Thus says Ahiah, the Redeemer of Israel, their Holy One, to him whom man despises, to him whom the nation hate, to the servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of Ahiah, who is faithful, the Holy One of Israel, and he has chosen you. Thus says Ahiah. Thus says Ahiah, in an acceptable time I have heard you, and in the day of salvation I have helped you. I will preserve you and give you as a covenant to the people. He says it again right here. Okay, Hebrew word Brit. So you can Google this right here. Now, the word Brit, the other AIN is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and it's also in the Bible. So the AIN is in the Bible, and the Brit, you just have to Google the Hebrew, what Brit means in Hebrew, because they didn't have that it's not in the Bible, and it's not in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Hebrew word Brit also means cutting, breaking, or separation, and the correct Brit is a common expression where correct means cutting. Correct Brit therefore means cutting of a separation. Now, this the part that's the main Brit in. So we have the Brit is covenant, AIN, Brit in. Okay. Now, this is a Zondervan Bible Dictionary, AIN. So Brit in, a land marked on the, it says it's a land marked on the eastern border of the promised land, west of Riblah. That's in Numbers chapter 34, verse 11. And then AIN, Britain, is also a southern city of Judah. That's in Joshua 15:32. Afterwards of Simeon, Joshua 19:7. Then assigned to the Levitical priests, Joshua 21:16. Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin and Levi is all them tribes, most of the tribes that were taken, that were all, captured and brought over, like Judah that came over here to the Atlantic slave trade. And so they, because we did have some priests with us as well. And I think it was Benjamin, it was Simeon. They saying it was like Simeon and that was mixed in with Judah. Some of Benjamin was mixed in with Judah, some of Simeon, and some Levitical priests that was mixed in with Judah that's here in the US, okay. So right here, these are the scriptures that y'all can find this, and then we're gonna go here. to the Bible verse and see what it says. Numbers 34:11 says, and the coast shall go down from Shimpa to Riblah on the east side of Iron, Britain, that's in Iron, and the border shall descend and shall reach unto the side of the sea of Shitra eastward. So now I say, let me go and look up Riblah. So now we have to go look up this word right here, Shimpa and Riblah. Riblah is a city on the boundary of Canaan and Israel, of Canaan and Israel, north of the Sea of Galilee, important town on the east bank of Orontes River, 50 miles south of Hamath in Assyrian province of Mansuet. In this place, Pharaoh Necho, 609 BC, put King Jehoahaz of Judah in chains, and Nebuchadnezzar killed the sons of King Zedekiah of Judah in 587 BC and put out his eyes, and then carried him off in chains to Babylon. And that's in 2 Kings chapter 25 verse 6, and then also Jeremiah 39 5 and 7. It is possible that the two Riblahs may be the same. And Shimpa is a place in the northeast of Canaan near the Sea of Galilee. Numbers 34:10. So Canaan invaded the promised land belonging to Shem. Canaan broke the oath made to his father and Ahiah. And for this reason, Canaan was cursed forever. This is why Canaan was cursed. Noah, yes, Noah did tell Ham his son was going to be cursed. The curse skipped over Ham and went to his son. This is why. This is why, because Ahiah had already, it was already a prophecy that he was going to be cursed anyway, because he broke the oath with Ahiah and he invaded that land. Canaan invaded the promised land belonging to Shem. Canaan broke the oath made to Noah, his father. It was Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and they all made an oath to Ahiah. And for this reason, Canaan was cursed forever. And this is the reason a part of the land is called Canaan. The Book of Jubilees explain more in detail. So now we see the whole, there is also Ain Karim, a village in the hill country of Judea, 5 miles west from Jerusalem, and the traditional home of Zachariah and Elizabeth, parents of John the Baptist. Then we also have Ain with the E, a Hebrew phrase found in the Song of Solomon, meaning the vineyards of Engedi, was a town on the west coast of the Dead Sea, 35 miles from Jerusalem. And so up here, we see that right here, it is the promised land. So in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it was a land marked on the eastern border of the promised land. So then when we look at Britain, a covenant people, when we look at Britain, a covenant people, and AIN, this then you put it together, a covenant people and the promised land. So this is why the Father keeps saying the Great Britain. That's why all through the Bible it's a mystery, and it's saying the great. the great, because it's the Great Britain. The Father was trying to show us that this is what the great, because I couldn't understand why it keeps saying the great Babylon, the great. And then also, now let me read, this Jeremiah. At that time, declares Ahijah, this is where the Father, Jeremiah chapter 31. And this was so profound. But that was the end of the Britain with the Bible scriptures and everything that Britain is the promised land. AIN is the promised land, and how they split the words up, but you got to break the words up. You have to break the word up so you'll be able to see, because otherwise you wouldn't have never been able to see that. You wouldn't be able to see Brit. Okay, let me break this up, and what does this mean and what does that mean, because words have meaning. But if we just look up Britain and what does Britain mean, of course it's their name, but no, this is our name. AIN, this is our name. This is our name on the back of there. And just like the Wales is switched around, they flip the W upside down, move a letter, switch a couple of letters around, and they just play switcheroo with some letters. But I think that they didn't want to have that. I was thinking they didn't want to be that disrespectful to disrespect the holy, the holy ground, to still leave the name there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I was like, at least they, you know what I'm saying, still tried to rename it, but left the name there at the same time. If I guess, I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they switched it around, but not moved the name. But everything else, all the rest of the names is removed. We know that.
They just spelled it backwards.
Right. They just spelled it backward. And they took one letter out. They took the H out because it's Shah. Because that R, it makes sense that it's Shah. Because we always say Shalom, Shalom. And don't you hear the Shah? Every time we say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shah. We hear the Shah. Huh? It still mean peace. Yeah, it still mean peace. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom. We hear the sh. We still hear the SH. You still hear the SHA. Sh. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, like that. So I was like, they must have took one of the letters out, switch it around, play switcheroo with stuff, but they ain't want to be that's disrespectful to remove the Father's the name off of there, so they switched it around and called it Wales. Jeremiah 31, at that time declares Ahijah, I will be father of all the families of Israel, and they will be my people. This is what Ahijah says. The people who survive the sword. Y'all hear this? Listen to this closely. Ahijah says, for those of us that survive the sword will find favor in the wilderness. Y'all see this? I told y'all we gonna already be, we gotta endure to the end over here in this wilderness. The Father said even the Father says let's call this place the wilderness. Survive the sword in the wilderness. Now this was the top of the cake. And when he said this, the people, I'm just going to highlight this. Now it's going to be other people. I know that verse, the people who survived the sword will find favor in the wilderness. I will come give rest to Israel though. You see this? He's going to come and give rest to Israel. So what does rest mean? We're gonna be chilling. He's gonna come and give rest to Israel. So it's gonna be more than just Israel left in the wilderness. It's gonna be more, you're gonna see, let me finish reading this. Ahijah appeared to us in the past saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. I will build you up again, and you, virgin Israel, will be rebuilt. Again, you will take up your tambourines. He said again. Y'all hear this? He's not talking about the last Exodus. He said, again, you will take up your tambourines and go out with a joyful dancing. So get your tambourines. Again, you will plant vineyards. He said, again, you will plant vineyards on the hills of Samaria. The farmers will plant them and enjoy their fruit. There will be a day when watchmen cry out on the hills of Ephraim. Y'all know who Ephraim is. Ephraim is Joseph's son that he had with the Egyptian woman. And he had 2 Egyptian. That's why the father tell us love our Egyptian brother, because Ephraim is Egyptian. I mean, they Israel, but their mother was an Egyptian. But you know, the father carries the seed, so Ephraim is our brother, no matter if he has an Egyptian mother or not. But Joseph did marry Egyptian woman when he was over there with the Pharaoh in Egypt. So Ephraim, come, let us go up to Zion, to Ahijah our father. This is what Ahijah says: sing with joy for Israel, shout for the foremost of the nation, make your praises heard, and say, Ahijah saved your people, the remnant of Israel. Y'all see that? The remnant. He said it's going to be a remnant. See, I will bring them from the land of the north and gather them from the ends of the earth. Among them will be the blind and the lame, expectant mothers and women in labor, all kinds of people. A great assembly will return. Listen what the Father says. They will come with weeping. They will pray as I bring them back. I will lead them beside the streams of water on a level path where they will not stumble, because I am Israel's father, and Ephraim is my firstborn son. And the Father says, hear the word of Ahijah, you nations, proclaim it in distant coastlands. He who scattered Israel will gather them and will watch over his flock like a shepherd. For Ahijah will deliver Israel, redeem them from the hand of those stronger than them. They will come and shout for joy on the heights of Zion. They will be radiant with joy because of Ahijah's goodness, because of the grain, the new wine and the fresh olive oil, the young of the flocks and the herds. Their life will be like a well-watered garden, and they shall not sorrow anymore. Then young women will dance and be glad, young men and old as well. I will turn their mourning into gladness. I will give them comfort and joy instead of sorrow. I will satisfy the priests with abundance, and my people will be filled with my bounty, declares Ahijah. This is the second Exodus. This is what the Father is talking about right here. The wilderness. He said, the people who survive the sword will find favor in the wilderness. I will come. He's kept saying again. He didn't say this first time, this again. And then he said, I'm gonna come and get y'all from the wilderness. Our ancestors didn't come from a wilderness. Our ancestors came from Egypt. And our father knew exactly where we came from. Egypt was not a wilderness. We left Egypt and went to a wilderness. But that's why the father says, people say, oh, we got to go back to the wilderness when this is going to be the wilderness. This is already going to be the wilderness. And then the father going to gather us all from this, because the Antichrist makes the whole world a wilderness place. All praise, honor, glory goes to our Father higher and his son, Yahshua. Yeah, I know y'all got some questions. I know y'all wrote down some stuff. Let me see. Let's see.